Hi, I'm Dr. Chris Samuels, and this is part 4 of He's Not Going to Be Perfect. We've talked about why perfection isn't realistic, what genuine recovery looks like, and the recovery phases you can expect. Now comes the crucial question: how do you tell the difference between normal recovery struggles and red flags that indicate serious problems? This matters enormously because the response should be completely different. Normal struggles require patience. Red flags require immediate intervention and possibly reevaluation of the relationship. There's a core distinction. Recovery struggles involve the following: honest disclosure, immediate return to recovery tools, taking full responsibility, learning from experience, decreasing frequency, and evidence of genuine effort. Red flags involve hiding or minimizing, blame shifting, repeated patterns without learning, increasing frequency or not decreasing levels of relapses, lack of genuine engagement, and continued deception. Let me go over the 6 major red flags. Number 1, dishonesty about recovery engagement. This is discovering he's been lying about whether he attended meetings, whether he's been honest with his therapist and sponsor, whether he's actually using blocking software. This is different from struggling with recovery work. Someone might find meetings difficult or struggle to open up. That's normal. But lying about whether he's doing the recovery work or even attending is a fundamental breach. It means he's still operating in the same deception mode that characterized his addiction. This is serious. Recovery is built on honesty. If he can't be honest about attending a meeting or his therapy sessions, the most basic of recovery activities, how can you trust honesty about anything more significant? What to do? This requires immediate, serious consequences. Consider separation until he demonstrates 90 days of verified recovery engagement, a higher level of care like intensive outpatient treatment, or a serious conversation about whether he's ready for recovery. Red flag number 2, blame shifting beyond the early recovery phase. Some defensiveness in the first few months is normal. The shame is overwhelming. But by 6 to 12 months, someone in genuine recovery should be taking full responsibility for his behavior. These are examples of continued blame shifting. If you'd been more affectionate, my job stress is overwhelming. Anyone would want to act out. You're making recovery harder by not trusting me. I had a slip because we thought. This is serious. Blame shifting means he hasn't accepted that the addiction is his to manage. He's still in victim mode. What to do? Name it directly. When I express pain, you turn it around on me. That's not taking responsibility. If this continues beyond 6 to 12 months, it's a serious problem. Red flag number 3, minimal recovery engagement. This is doing the absolute minimum to avoid consequences, attending meetings but never sharing, going to therapy but not digging deep or doing work between sessions, having a sponsor but never calling him. It's the difference between compliance and commitment. Compliance, I'll do what I have to so you don't leave. Commitment, I'm doing this because recovery improves my life. This is serious. White knuckle sobriety without genuine engagement won't last. If someone is still doing bare minimum at 12 months, they're headed for eventual relapse. What can you do? You can't force genuine engagement, but you can decide whether you're willing to stay with someone whose recovery is merely superficial compliance. Red flag number 4, unchanging or escalating behavior patterns. In genuine recovery, you should see a clear trajectory of behavioral improvement. In months 1 to 3, possible slips as skills are learned. Months 3 to 6, decreasing frequency. Months 6 to 12, rare slips, immediate disclosure. Year 1 plus, very rare, if any. Red flags, same frequency of slips at month 10 as month 2. No coping skills development, increasing frequency or severity of slips, discovering new behaviors not in the original disclosure, and continued deception. Rapid relapse after periods of sobriety. Recovery isn't working. White knuckling it isn't genuine recovery. What to do? If patterns aren't improving by months 6 to 12, something needs to change. Consider higher levels of treatment, complete therapeutic disclosure, serious evaluation of whether genuine recovery is occurring. The 5th red flag is continued secrecy. Sexual addiction thrives in secrecy and deception. Someone in genuine recovery willingly embraces transparency because they understand secrecy feeds the addiction. Sex addiction is a disease of lies and secrets. These are some of the things he might be doing. Having hidden accounts, hidden apps, hidden profiles, deleting browser histories or messages, absent for unexplained reasons, defensive about transparency. He makes excuses for not sharing passwords, unexplained financial transactions. Why these are serious? Refusing transparency after secret sexual behavior indicates inadequate recovery commitment. What to do? These things should be non-negotiable. If he won't agree to reasonable transparency measures, he's not genuinely committed to recovery. Red flag number 6, lack of empathy development. Limited empathy in the first 6 months is normal. He's drowning in shame. But by 6 to 12 months, empathy should be developing. Here are some examples of lack of empathy. Why can't you get over it? I feel so terrible, making you comfort him. How long are you going to hold this against me? You're being paranoid. I'm in recovery. You should trust me. This is serious. If he can't hold your experience without making it about him by 12 months, he hasn't done the internal work necessary for genuine recovery. What to do? If empathy isn't developing by 12 to 18 months, question whether he's capable of the emotional growth necessary for relationship healing. The pattern matters. Only one red flag in early recovery doesn't necessarily mean failure, but patterns of red flags are serious. Red flags continuing beyond 6 months are concerning. Multiple red flags indicate inadequate recovery. The timeline, months 0 to 3, higher tolerance for struggles. Months 3 to 6, you should see behavioral improvement and increased honesty. Months 6 to 12, empathy developing, patterns decreasing. Year 1 plus, major red flags require different intervention. Trust your instincts. You know your partner better than anyone. If something feels wrong, start to question. If you're being told you're paranoid for having concerns, that's often gaslighting. Your gut is giving you important information. Don't dismiss it. What's next? In part 5, we'll talk about protecting yourself during his recovery process, how to take care of your own healing, set boundaries that actually protect you, and avoid losing yourself in monitoring his progress. This is crucial because your well-being cannot depend on his recovery succeeding. Subscribe and remember, you deserve genuine change, not just management of consequences. I wish you well.